Well, hello, my friends. Ruben Obed here, transmitting live from Dorado, Puerto Rico, and I'm here to give you a little tour of my off-grid house. I don't live on a homestead. I don't live in the middle of anywhere. I live in an urban city style area, and yet I live off-grid. I'm going to start by showing you my solar system that I built DIY, and I hope you get some ideas. So here it goes. This right here is part of my system. That's a 100 watt panel. But if you look all the way down here, all the way down across my roof, all those black panels are 30 watt panels that I purchased from Mighty Max Solar, and all the black panels add up to 570 watts. These big ones are 100 watts, so it gives me a total of 770 watts of power, which is what I use to okay. Now, a lot of people say, why so many small panels? Well, the reason being, we're in Puerto Rico and it costs money for shipping, and these 30 watt panels at the time were free shipping, so it was actually more cost effective for me to get a whole bunch of little panels than it was to get the big panels. Each of those panels cost about $100 plus the shipping, which is another $40-something. So that's why it was a little bit hard at the time after Hurricane Maria to be able to buy the bigger panels. So the 30 watt panels got discontinued, and I'm starting a separate little system where these are 20 watt panels. They're a little smaller than those, but I'm doing the same concept. I'm gonna make a line all the way down to the end, and get some more panels put together. Now, I have been called out on the efficiencies of this type of setup. Yes, there is some loss and some but at the time I had to do it that way. So and it works perfectly. It works perfectly to charge my whole solar system and battery bank. Okay. Now, as I move down over here in this area, if you see this barrel on top of these bricks, this is basically a water heater. Okay, I have this filled up with nice clean water. I put that bucket on there so that when it rains it doesn't mix with dirty rainwater. And basically this spiral right here is a heater, and I have this hose going straight into the house, into the bathroom area. So if it's usually really hot in Puerto Rico, but there are days that are cold, so all I got to do is open up the little spigot and the water is gravity fed all the way down into the house. And I fill it up when this empties out, right? I fill it up, and I'm going to show you how I fill it up off grid. Okay, so let me come downstairs. If you see that right there, it kind of looks like a contortionist thing. All right, this thing basically, these houses here in Puerto Rico are made flat, and when it rains, a lot of rainwater accumulates in all of this area, and it goes down these spout holes. So what I did is I put some PVC pipe, and I made this type of thing. I gotta work it kind of like to channel the water straight down. Right here there's another hole, and that's another outspout. Okay, and if you can see there, the rainwater will fall down this and will fall down there and fall straight into that big cistern. Now, like I said, I have it covered up at the present time. I have actual clean water from the water company, but in a shit down scenario, what will happen is, if the water that accumulates here will funnel down and fall into the to the big cistern. Okay, as I come down the steps here, this is the beginning of my little farming area. All I have is these little peppers so far, which are growing very beautifully, and this is recao. This is basically herbs that you use to cook. Recao smells very, very good. It's used for cooking, especially in Spanishville. So the whole idea is to get peppers, and to get this whole table filled with plants for sustainable living. I'm not a farmer, so this is kind of like a work in progress. I'm learning. Okay, now I'm gonna leave this for a second. I already mentioned it. In this room I have about 1,000 bottles of water. Okay, this water is water that you can use in an emergency. Some of this water has gotten a little bit green, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna, in case of an emergency, this water will get used for, for plants, for, cleaning up anything. It can be boiled, you know what I mean? So, most of it is clean, but some of them is actually a little bit old, and it grew a little bit of algae. But there's about 1,000 bottles of clean water there, and the cistern here. Now, like I said, I'm doing everything off grid. So what I do is, with this water pump, this is a Sea-Flow water pump, and this Sea-Flow water pump was brought to me over there. Cat screaming. All right, this water pump is I got through a company, and basically Sea-Flow. I think it's Sea-Flow is like a imitation of another company. I think it's SureFlow, whatever. Anyway, the whole point is, I take the water from the cistern, it gets pumped, and it gets back fed into the house. Okay, so it gets back fed into here, and it goes into the house through there. Okay, so basically I have no need for the water company because I am supplying my own water pressure. Okay, now this cable that you see here hanging here, this cable is for recharging my batteries with the generator. In the mornings, if I see that it's rainy or cloudy, I bring out one of these generators and I plug it into that cable, and basically I get this and I charge my battery bank with this. These are 2-cycle generators by Phoenix. These are 800 watt, 1,000 watt max, 2-cycle generators, and they require the little oil, 2-cycle oils. There you go, 2-cycle oils. And basically I only run these for like 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours, just to give my batteries a little bit of a boost, after, like if the day is cloudy or rainy, or if I see that I'm not gonna get a full charge. So that's what I use these for. Okay, and I only use them in the morning, like from 8 to maybe 9:30, 10, and that's basically how I use that. Now I come in here, all right, here in the bathroom, we got the lights. I have the separate battery. This separate battery is basically just running the water pump. Okay, the one that I showed you outside, the Sea-Flow water pump. It has its own little solar panel on the roof, and this right here is an on and off switch that I made. So this is the charger. I plug this in during the day when the sun comes out. It's already fully charged. If you can see, 12.9, it's fully charged. And basically, if you open up the faucet, there's no water. You see, no water. Okay, now if you come over here and you turn on the switch, the water pump is on, and you have water for the entire house. You have water here, okay? And like I said, this is back feeding the water, okay, into the house, all right? Right now, if you notice, the water pressure is a little bit low. And the reason it's a little bit low is because of the toilet. The toilet must have needed water. So if I close the faucet, if I close the toilet, you'll see the water pressure a lot stronger, okay? So that's basically that part of the system, okay? Now, and like I said, we live totally off grid, I have all the luxuries. Pardon the mess, guys. I've just been really busy today. This is my system right here, okay? And if you notice my system, I have two 2,000 watt inverters. I have that charger. If you notice, it's already in green. That means this charger is charging this battery. And if you notice on the roof that I had a little area with 4 little solar panels, those 4 80 watts of panels, those little 4 small ones, the 20 watt panels, they're charging this battery. Plus I have this battery on that charger. So, okay, Now, that is the main system, which is the 6 deep cycle batteries. Okay, 6 deep cycle batteries giving me 516 amp hours. And the big solar panels, the two 100-watt solar panels are on that charge controller. And the other black ones, the 570 watts, are running on that one. So both charge controllers are running separate solar arrays in parallel into my solar system. Okay. Now, like I was telling you, during the morning, I turn on my generator for 2-3 hours, and I use this to top off my 6 deep cycle batteries that are in parallel. Okay, to top off those. So I have the generator running and the charger running off of the generator, and basically I have, while that's happening, I have this charger charging from that system, charging this battery, okay, and plus charging the bathroom battery with the other charger. So in about 2-3 hours, everything's, everything's full. Okay, as you can see here, my battery's at 13.7. I'm only getting 6.4 amps right now because, batteries are totally full. I really don't have any loads on except for a small fan at the moment, okay? But as you can see, all right, right now, all the system is on, okay? And right here, this is my recording studio. I have my lights here. Let's turn on the lights. It says studio. All right, and it says living room, and I have these separate lights on there. Okay, that's some lights here for the studio. Okay, and if I turn this on here, and this, there you go. I get my surveillance cameras on. This is all running off of solar, guys, all running off of solar, let everything boot up. All right, that's the monitor, aka TV. You might not get a signal because I use it as a monitor. And the laptop, I'm not gonna bother turning it on. I'm just showing you guys how everything's on. The lights are on, and let me turn this off because I don't have no need. But I can run the entire studio off of solar, including I have fans in here as well. And this is the back side of my studio, okay? And this back side right here, I have this battery that was charging. I guess I turned it off at some point. But there's a charger charging this battery here, this little battery, and has an independent light right there for that, okay? And I have a little inverter here, so it's running off of that small 12-volt battery, just in case I need anything. Okay, right now, you see it's 14.3. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'll leave that charging for a little bit, even though it's topped off, but since I found it off. So let me come over here. Okay, those are LED lights that are running off of the system. That is that main light that I just turned on. Okay, I'm using 12-volt bulbs. Okay, you can give a nice view, and it turns on the entire studio. The only thing that I am not running off of solar is the air conditioner. I haven't reached that level yet. I have to upgrade my system. So that's the system. I have 6 deep cycle marine batteries in parallel. These are the EP Ever. This is the EP Ever MPPT charge controller. This is 30 amp. This one's a 10 amp. Okay. And here we have a little Coca-Cola fridge, that I run. This is a thermoelectric. I'm not really using it at the moment, but in a grid down scenario, if you need, some cooling. All right. Now, what I do, my little system, is that system is charged. This one right here is basically what I use from, let's say, 6 o'clock till about maybe 10 or 11. So when I use this battery, right, it's fully topped off, and what I do, I use this and I plug in this inverter, because from 6 o'clock till about maybe 10, 11 o'clock, I don't need much power. So, this, I'll either run the TV, I'll run this small TV, I'll run it off of this battery, and the internet router, okay, all from this small little inverter. And I'm using this one just to conserve energy, okay. Now I have, you see a lot of inverters, okay. What happens is that's the main inverter that I'm using, okay. That's a Best Tech 2000 watt inverter. And when I purchased that one, it was $89. It was a sale, guy on eBay. And he happened, the day after I bought this one, the guy happened to bring down the prices on them for $69. So I said, oh my God, let me buy another one. So I bought a second one. And it's good to have a second one because if one of them breaks, I have a backup. And these being the 2000 watt ones, these are the ones that run my fridge. Okay, I have a mini fridge. These are AC. Okay, and this needs a strong enough inverter to handle the surge. Okay, I do not have the fridge on all the time. You know, we have set up a system that we use the fridge during the days to cool off drinks. You know, a lot of the food that we buy does not need refrigeration. You know, our stove is a gas propane stove, so we don't spend any electric on that. You know, so because the little fridge, it does use up a lot of power. Everything's nice and full. Solar panels are bringing 19 volts, 3.7 amps, 5 amps going into the battery, and those 5 amps that it says right there is actually just a fan that's running. That's where those 5 amps are going. You know, so that is the system. You know, that is the system. So I have 4 inverters. These 2 big ones, 750 watt one and the 410 one. You know, I use the 410 one usually like at night around maybe from 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night. I run everything off of the 410 watt. Like once this battery is done, around 11:30, I'm done with this. I just switch the cabling and I plug everything, the 2 cables into here, which would be the internet and the fan. Because at night you don't need anything else. So I would just turn on that inverter. That 750, I'm not even using it, honestly. It's just there in case of anything. And the thing is, I had gotten that 750 with the purpose of running the fridge, but it seems like it cannot handle the surge. So, you know, but it's there to run anything if I need to run anything bigger, okay? So this is pretty much the system, guys. You know, the last thing that I want to show you is a little ceiling fan. These are little 12-volt ceiling fans that you could get them online for like maybe 13 bucks. And I have that on there, okay? And all you got to do is just press the little button here and it turns on, okay? And it blows some really, really nice air. That only spends like maybe an amp or so, you know. So, but basically, that is the entire system. It runs everything. It works. Right now I have this big fan over there. That fan pulls like 165 watts, which is a lot for a fan, okay? And if you notice, you know, look at my wiring. I've done everything with extension cords, and this fan, see that? All on batteries, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I run my PlayStation, you know, I run everything off of solar, guys, you know, and like I said, it can be done. It's not exactly like being on grid, you know, sometimes it's a little bit inconvenient until you get used to it. You know, it's kind of like having a prepaid phone. You just got to watch out your usage. But once you have a system going, you don't even notice it. You know, you don't even notice it. So this is the system. Let me give you all a last look of the system. Okay. That's the system. And there you go. So you can do it off grid, guys. You can do it. And I've just shown you proof. And that's how I live. Totally off grid. I have no electric bill. And my entire system runs everything. And it's a small system. It's relatively small. It's 770 watt system, you know. So that's how you do it. All right, guys. Well, y'all take care. God bless, and I hope you enjoyed this tour of my, of my system, my off-grid system. Leave your comments. Let me know. And if you like our channel and you want to make a little contribution, my PayPal link will be in the description below. And if you have any question regarding solar and you would like me to help you out and point you in the right direction, that's what we're here for. So thank you for your contribution, guys. Take care and God bless.